Veteran Salute is sponsored by the Devon James Injury Lawyers.
A Navy veteran says she knew during grade school she wanted to take care of others.
As Gwen Bevel and photojournalist Nick Kiefer show us, she became a nurse, but it only took her a year to figure out she wanted more.
Joyce Craig says her parents finally believed she was really signing up for the Navy when she boarded a plane. Her first station was San Diego, so she planned to spend about 2 years in service. She stayed in for 20.
Scary, excited, going to be away for a year from your family.
That's how Joyce Craig described her emotions when she got the orders for Vietnam.
Wherever we were needed, we went.
The Navy nurses did have to get used to some new military terminology because they were headed to Da Nang, where they'd be boots on the ground.
Well, at that time, we wore little white shoes. We didn't wear boots. And that just wasn't our way of talking.
Craig says the nurses all had experience, which was good because of all they saw.
Lost a lot of sleep, cried a lot.
She says patients were brought in by helicopters.
We knew the sound, and so we knew what kind of patients were probably coming in.
And she says regardless of their injuries, the nurses remained optimistic.
Try to get them comfortable and be positive that they're going to get well.
She says they had to provide care in a very hostile place.
To think about incoming rounds injuring patients and myself.
2 different areas of the hospital were hit by enemy fire.
The Viet Cong could be on the other side.
The enemy was so close there were guard shacks lining the perimeter.
The jungle was like on the other side of the fence. They could have infiltrated.
And she says nurses had to go between Kwanzaa huts to treat patients.
Here we were in little white dresses in the night, you know, big target.
Craig says that they had to make some uniform modifications.
Poncho over her head and then just kind of run to the next ward.
She says they rarely left the grounds, and if they did, this is how they got around.
It was dark and bumpy, and hopefully we got where we were trying to go.
She says occasionally they would get a little time to have some fun at China Beach, and they also stayed busy helping the village's people.
When it was a down, quiet time, they would do humanitarian procedures.
Craig is pictured here with her flak jacket and helmet with a poster that reads, "On your next vacation, visit beautiful Vietnam."
We never wanted to go back there.
She says they all had calendars counting down the days left in country. Once home, Craig got an out-of-this-world assignment for NASA.
I was selected to go as an ICU nurse for the whole launch of the Skylab and the 3 astronaut groups.
She says they had to stay at the hospital where they would climb up on the roof to watch the launches.
We just prayed that it was going to get up there and be out of sight.
She says the care teams never even met the astronauts.
Once they came in from Houston, they were in quarantine because, you know, couldn't catch cold and go into space.
After 3 launches with Skylab, she was also part of a joint mission between the U.S. and Russia during the Cold War.
We felt very important. It was very exciting.
While Craig was still there in Jacksonville, she met a pilot at a Boston Tops concert. The 2 married and both retired from the Navy. Here for you, Gwen Bevel, KSN News 3.
The Devon James Injury Lawyers here with one very special veteran, and that's Lieutenant Commander Joyce Craig, who served our country both in Vietnam and at NASA. On behalf of all of Kansas, thank you for your service.
Thank you for recognizing the veterans.
Veteran Salute is sponsored by the Devon James Injury Lawyers.